two things, but while I do that, let me talk about my piece a little bit. Now, normally I feel like novel excerpts are probably better without context, because if your piece is good, it can stand alone and shine. However, I need to get myself comfortable with you guys. So, I'll gush about something I'm passionate about. That's something I'm passionate about is my own writing. So, our main character is Soren, and he's uncovering a lot of truths about himself. He's 20 years old. I feel like that's right around the age we're all at. That's where we all discover uncomfortable truths about ourselves, and we're grappling with it. And at least as far as he thinks, discovering uncomfortable truths means you have to let go of what's behind you. And sometimes letting the past go, you have to let people go. Now, this isn't the best way to do it. I definitely wouldn't advocate for this. So, I hope I can blow you all away, because I got audio to accompany me. All right.
Ready?
I believe I am. Is it going? I look up and I see a razor gauntlet-clad fist with fiery anger. The left hand comes crashing down onto my nose. I feel a sickening crunch in my face. The smell of rot and burning coals is replaced by iron. She turns me over and attempts to pin my arms behind my back. But to get away from the heat of the burning river, she drags us away from the lava, which gives me an opening. I kick the blade up into my hands and I scramble out of the grasp. I run up the hill and she screams, "Soren! You're not safe out here. Look at this place." I stop and I turn to her. "You kidding? You want me to believe that you're concerned about my safety?" I cut my hands over my nose, still stinging. Tears involuntarily pour, pooling with the blood between my fingers. She chases me. Her pace is surprisingly fast for someone wearing almost 55 pounds of armor. I jab at her, she approaches. Left, right. She dodges each attempt. Her right hand pushes my sword-gripping hand down, and the left comes down and grabs my jaw. "You'd rather be running around with a criminal than save your family?" We fall to the ground. She straddles me and pushes her thumbs into my throat. Classic move from training. All 225 pounds of her weight crushes my diaphragm, and suddenly I feel the heat burning at my feet again, but it isn't just from the lava. I grab Scarlet's wrist and I try to pry them away, but my resolve isn't good enough. Not until my fire sparks up and allows me to escape her grasp easily, leaving behind a trail of blazes. "What the fuck?" she screams as I leave her in the coal dust. This is my family," I say, my arms and legs blazing, blackening holes form on my sleeves and pants fading away with dull hushes. "My father's going through hell and back to save my cousin, King Ginger. He sold me out without a second thought. You want me to go back to that? Ginger doesn't speak for the rest of us, and you do?" She steps forward, her hairs and cries being swept away by the dry underworld breeze. "They love you, Soren. They say it in their own ways." I hear a sob escape her lips. "I love you, Soren." The fire still burns. She's practically on her knees, begging me to share some of that fire too. The thing about fire is that it needs air to breathe. It consumes me from the inside out. I smolder. I have to walk away, but she lies in the ashes. Scarlet Rose refuses to go cold. The sword I had taken from her scabbard gathers soot near the burning canal. I turn my back and I begin to walk away. I try to offer her a chance to do the same, if it hurts. And it fucking hurts. I know she won't do it though. Our unspoken connection is too hard to let go. A voice in my head screams at me, accusing me of being a monster for turning away so easily. That voice is Scarlet's. It gets closer, and closer, and closer until it collides with me. Two steel blades interlock. We look into each other's sore faces and see the biggest, heart-throbbing roadblocks. Each clash of our blades is a miniature explosion, a burst of sparks, a decaying of the love between us. My stance is wider and defensive because I can't afford to sustain any of her sword swings. She's stronger than me, and she's wearing full armor. And with each cut I parry, my resolve fades. My flame shrinks, and shrinks unwilling to fight for much longer. Dark desire demands that I give in. For 10 years, I've been drifting through life on autopilot. 10-year-old boy normally doesn't have much say in what goes on, or any understanding for that matter. I was so confused when my mom didn't come home that night. The way my dad reacted to was lost on me. There were phone calls and fend for yourself for dinner nights, and Dad was mostly absent for about a month. Until one day, he took me to Queen Magenta's store and left me there for good. He waited before he left, but he didn't turn back. I knew he wasn't coming back. Lethargy took over, and I just said yes to everything. What else was I going to do? My family was dissolved overnight, and why should I put much effort into the next? Scarlett helped a ton in the past decade. She was there for my best and for my worst, but I was still on autopilot. My body and mind moved through time on its own, and my soul was left in that 10-year-old boy who anxiously waits for his mom by the window. I felt disconnected to him. I feel like he's standing right behind me, clinging to my leg as Scarlett throws his steel onto me. He's tugging at my shirt, begging me to save my dad. As I envision him, I feel the blazes ignite once more. They're angry, hungry, ravenous. Scarlett delivers more slices, but they don't diminish that light anymore. Scarlett, I plead, you need to go. No, Soren. The flames get stronger. The boy behind me screams and cries, and with each wail, the fire grows. Please, Scarlett. My strength grows as my parries from her swings turn into counterattacks. My weapon is a streaking comet. It's a comet streaking through the night sky, shrinking to a blazing point before it crashes into planet Earth. The power that accompanies Finis's fire is becoming more and more apparent to the both of us. She keeps pushing. Scarlet Rose just keeps pushing, much to that little boy's dismay. Get away! Not yet. This is the final swordsman. I know it, but I don't think she does. Time seems to slow down, and I watch my sword sail through the air before it perfectly avoids Scarlett's expert blocking. And just as easily as it slices the dry underworld breeze, it glides through her armor, through her belly. And just as fast as I see the blood spray lifted by roaring flames, I see a horrified look on her face stir. It's not a shock. Betrayal.